Morning guys, it's RT here. This is actually a bit of a special episode. We're going to be visiting a subscriber's house. His name's Hef. He's invited me over to check out his emporium of tanks. So, join me for the ride. Hefs! Say hello to you too, my brother. How are you, mate? Good. Man, nice place.
Thanks, mate.
You know who made it. You know who made it.
So Hefs, tell me about your corals, mate, starting from left to right.
Well, from the left side, I mainly got my torches.
The torches. So I remember the first time you contacted me, you asked me about anemones.
Yeah.
And then I told you the photo that you sent me, that was actually
A torch.
a torch.
Yeah.
So I can see now you've got like 100 torches. Talk me through them. Which one's your favorite?
Well, my favorite is that See green one in front of you?
This one here?
Yeah. It's a big piece. Got that very cheap by mistake.
Tell me that story. Tell me that story.
Well, at the shop it was marked as 350, and I said, "What's wrong with that one?" Because there were smaller ones for 600, and I said, "What's wrong with that one?" And he goes, "Nothing. Why?" And I go, "Why is it 350?" He goes, "That's a mistake. It's meant to be 700." And then I go, "Well, it's marked 350. Can I take it?" And he goes, "Yeah, just take it." So I got it for a steal.
So you got a whole garden of torches here.
Yeah. Yeah, like that little one there cost me 150, which is the same type. So times that by X, and I only got that one, the top one for 350.
So green's your favourite colour when it comes to torches?
Oh, yeah, I like the gold ones, but I haven't had much luck with them.
Have you bought a gold torch before?
I've had a gold one, yeah. And then they're mixed with Alvies and Gonies.
The Alvies, the white Alvie there, I love it.
Yeah, that top left torch wasn't doing so well. I lifted up there. It's doing better now.
So you just put in more flow, hoping it get a little bit better?
Yeah, it's doing a lot better since the flow.
How do these torches go with stinging?
They did sting a few things. Well, mainly I had a red Goni where that Alvie is.
Yep.
And it got stung. And then, but the Goni's polyps used to really extend, so that was my mistake. Shouldn't have put it there.
Oh, you live and you learn, mate.
Yeah.
They all fight for territory.
Like, Litre Goni is pretty much my centerpiece. I love it.
That devil's hand there, what's it hosting? What fish is in there?
That's a bicolor blenny. That's his home. Yeah, he loves it.
How good is it? And the devil's hand clearly doesn't care. It's loving it.
No, he loves it.
So you were saying, sorry, the Goni.
Yeah, that.
Oh, the glitter Goni right there,
Yeah.
right in front.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite pieces.
Since day one, when you told me you were going to get Gonis, you asked me about Gonis, and I said they are so hard to take care of.
Yeah.
They are a pain. One day they'll be fine, the next day they go. But you're actually doing quite well with yours.
No, I am. I've just got the one problem with that one down there, but.
This one here?
Nah, that one there. Sorry.
Oh yes, okay, yeah.
But hopefully it starts coming out. This has only been a few days, so see what happens.
Has this thing taken over yet?
No, it's been alright. I wanted to move it, but it's encrusted on the rock, see? On the bottom there. So I can't really pull it off, so.
Not much can kill it, though, you know that, right?
Yeah. Oh, if it takes over, I'll start.
Oh, you could rip it off, and like
Yeah.
I've heard stories where people have broken down their tank, dried their rocks, and then 6 months later decide to start up a new tank. They put the same rock in, and it's still sprouted up and
wow.
survived. Like the majority of it dies.
Yeah.
All it needs is one spore.
Your
and
hammer
somehow it
garden.
survives.
Wow.
Yeah, my hammers had a few problems with them in the beginning, but now they're doing well.
You've pretty much got most of the colours except for orange, right?
Yeah. I want to add an orange, just obviously not much room.
Well, you can go under, but you're not getting any light.
No, yeah.
Have you ever thought about, because you've got so much room in your tank, I mean your tank is it's got some depth to it.
Yep.
Have you ever thought about, and I usually don't like it, but I know some people when they're looking for more space, those little slats that you can chuck on, the frag.
On the glass?
Yeah, like on the side or even on the back. So you've got some
Yeah.
room in the back, and that's where a lot of your flow goes as well.
Yeah, I'm just worried it might be too much flow for them.
Yeah.
Because I did have the flow up and then some of them started to retract. They didn't like too much flow. But I could give it a go.
And I've always struggled with hammers, mate. So the fact that you've got so many hammers all literally sitting next to each other,
Yep.
and I'm sure they sting each other every now and then, but all of them look so healthy.
No, they're doing well. The only problem, they'll probably start taking over each other, so I'll have to space them out a bit more, but for now they're doing fine.
Look at this Goni here, it's huge.
That's 2 pieces.
Oh, it's 2 pieces, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see a difference in
Yeah.
colour here. This one's with a red tinge to it at the bottom and some
Yeah.
green. This green's a lot more vibrant with a
Yeah.
purple tip.
Yeah.
You got more of this.
Yeah, he was standing up yesterday.
Alright, moving on to your leathers here. How do your leathers go with the hammers so close?
They do get stung every now and then, but...
Because they send out stingers in the middle of the night, right? The hammers? Have you ever seen one?
Of the...
An actual, like an extension stinger.
Yeah,
so
that green one there, he sends them out all the time.
This out? Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I got that big gap in between that gunny and that...
Gotcha.
Anything I put between these.
That's a pretty good gap. I've seen some really long stings, man. It's actually amazing. But at the end of the day, as long as it looks happy for now, but keep in mind your gunny in this tank with this lighting and all the nutrients you chuck in, they're going to get pretty big. All these corals are going to get absolutely massive.
Yeah.
They're already pretty decent, but looking at this size gunny here, and that guy, he's going to grow.
No, I know eventually I'll have to start shifting things. And...
Oh, you just buy a new tank.
G'day.
You just buy, and you know, when you run out of room with this one, feel free to drop this off at my house, and I'll take care of your stuff for you. So I can see with your tank, it's mainly LPS and softies.
Yep.
How come you like those? You've got the setup for an SPS tank. You've got everything here you need for an SPS tank.
Yep. I just like the flow of it.
So you like the movement?
Yeah, it really attracts me, yeah. I do like SPS, but I don't know, I'm just more into the flow and movement.
Yeah. Honestly, when you go snorkeling, which is one of my favourite things to do, when I go to the reef or go on holiday, the first thing you look for is like a swaying coral.
Yep.
I know most of the coral reef's made of SPS, and that's kind of what supports the reef, but it's corals like these that kind of attract people to the hobby.
Yeah. No, like you said in the beginning, the anemones that I thought were torches, that's what attracted me. But yeah.
But it's amazing how far you've come, mate. Like seriously, we only started talking, what, maybe 5-6 months ago?
Yes.
Where you actually had an issue with, I think, your clowns. They had a disease, Brooklynella, I think it was called.
That's the one. I lost
and you had a 200 litre tank at that stage, or 120?
It's probably 100 litres.
100 litre tank, and it was something you just bought a second hand.
Yeah.
And you had an issue with that, and it came with corals. And then you sent me photos of these corals, and I'm like, mate, that is not an anemone, that is a torch. But in 6 months, you've come like so far. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I didn't know anything at the beginning. I remember you asking me in the beginning, what's your parameters? And I said, yeah, my nitrates are good and all that. And he goes, how about your DKH? And I go, what's that?
What's DKH? What's alkalinity?
Yes, man, you gotta...
And then, like, I think 2 weeks after that, all of a sudden you're like, hey, what do you dose your tank? And I'm like, you don't?
yeah, I didn't know anything about it.
All right, Hef'S, take me through your stock, mate. Tell me the names of the fish and why you got them.
Right, so the pyramid butterflies.
The one that's hiding away from me right now, yeah?
Yeah, I've always loved them, and they're the most reef-safe butterfly. So, yeah, they just really attract me. They're nice, beautiful fish. Moving on, yellow assessor, always upside down. I've never seen normal.
Yeah, I've actually read stories where people have taken their fish back to the LFS, saying my fish is about to die.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're apparently they constantly swim upside down. Right now, he's swimming upside down.
Yeah, you'll never see him straight up unless he starts eating, but he's doing well. That wrasse, I don't know the name of it, but it's beautiful. It's one of my favourites, just odd colouring.
Yeah, he's actually got like an orange nose, a pink head, purple body, a white line underneath his body. Man, there's so many colours, and there's blue in his tail as well.
Yeah, very odd.
The only thing that's missing is a bit of green.
Yeah.
What do we got here?
I've got the purple
look
tang.
at this thing here. Tell me a story about this purple tang, Hef. I know you've wanted tangs for a long time.
Well, he's one of my favourites. I got him really cheap. Someone was shutting down their tank, not far from here. I think he popped up on Gumtree within an hour, picked him up, went in my quarantine, and yeah, he's done well.
So a lot of people, well, I'm saying a lot of people, but I know myself, I try and avoid getting fish from someone else's tank, only because I'm worried about disease.
Yeah.
But in your case, you've done the right thing. You've got a full QT system. How long did you have this guy in QT?
3 weeks.
3 weeks? And you ran, what did you run on?
I ran copper for 2 weeks, and then ran it without copper for the 1 week. And then after that, straight in the tank.
Gotcha. And did you have the tang with other fish in there, or was it just quarantining by himself?
It was just him.
He looks. Was the size the same
Yeah.
when you got him?
Yeah, it was a big boy.
And he's eating well now, yeah?
Oh yeah.
You have no issues with feeding your tank.
No issues.
It's a dream start, mate.
Yeah, so I give them the fish nutrition with the frozen. So it soaks with it for like 10 minutes.
Yep.
Just adds all the vitamins and...
Does it have like garlic in it as well?
Yep.
So it adds garlic, alright, so it gets their appetite going as well.
Yeah, fatty acids.
Nice. What's he eating? Hey? Where'd that come from? Oh, what are these? These Dominoes?
Yeah, just got one of him. He was used in another tank to cycle.
And he's still here.
He's still here, he came over.
What a soldier.
Yeah. It's one of the...
So he survived 3 cycles or just 2? Because you have to cycle this tank as well, right?
Yeah, so 2.
2 cycles he survived.
Yeah,
That's why they're so hardy, mate. Look at him.
Yeah. No, I had 3 of them, but they were bullying this one.
Gotcha.
And I felt sorry for this one, so I traded the 2 back and kept this one. But now he's still getting bullied by the longfin clowns.
Yeah.
They chase him around, but...
I gotta say, I've gotta give a shout out to your LFS, mate. They are pretty awesome. Like, they do really take care of you.
Yeah.
Your LFS take care of you. I know you spend quite a bit of money on them, clearly, obvious. But the fact that they take care of you, they allow you to replace things, swap things. They even give you, obviously, you know, coral that aren't doing so well, but, you know, sometimes it could be up to $500 piece of coral.
Yeah.
The fact that they still, you know,
like this
do
piece
that for
here,
you is amazing.
If you see that piece, it wasn't doing so well at the LFS.
Yeah.
And he said, take it home, see how it goes. And it's starting to extend a little bit, so they're alright like that. Like if something's not doing well, I'll dip it in the tank, see how it goes.
That gunny there, how much would that normally be at the LFS?
If it extended more, probably looking at maybe $100.
Not bad, right? A free gunny, $100. And all you have to do is take care of a clownfish couple. But surprisingly, have you still got more than 2 clowns in here?
I got 4 clowns.
You got 4 clowns.
Yeah.
Normally people would call you a clown for having an established couple.
Nah, like I told you in the beginning, I was going to try them out. If they didn't work, you could have my $600 pair.
I know, and I was hoping it wouldn't work out, so I'd have a $600 pair of longfin clowns. But mate, again, I know it's probably due to the fact that you have a quite a big tank as well. So maybe territory is not an issue, but the fact
It's funny, they get along.
They do, they seem to get along here. There's no aggression whatsoever. But you've also got a lot of fish, a lot of territory that they can claim. But the fact of the matter is, normally, once they couple up, and you had yours coupled up for what, a year? Actually, no, yours moved so quickly, mate.
The longfins were at the shop for a few months before I bought them. Because I wasn't ready for them yet, so I put them on hold. And I think I put them in my smaller tank. And then eventually, I wanted a bigger tank, this 5 foot. And then the wife said, nah. It's either you have 1 tank or you're not getting a new one. I said, alright. So I tried them all together and they're doing well so far.
Yeah. So, I mean, if some of my viewers might not be familiar with it, but both me and Hef were actually married, right? And when you're married, you have to make certain adjustments in your life. So generally, the missus usually says, you can't have more than 1 tank, and then you get a second one. And then when you get the third one, they pretty much go, nah, this is it. You have to make a choice. And that's what I came up with recently. Yeah. So that's why I've only got 3 tanks in my house. And now what I do is, I go to other people's houses and I admire their fish tanks. So, but yes, it would be, number 1, expensive to run more than, I guess, 1 reef tank, especially reefing is a lot more expensive. As amazing as the tank is, your sump is equally insane. Talk me through it, mate.
Well, in the sump, I got a Reef Mat 1200, which pulls out all the detritus and that. GW12 skimmer, I've got my refugium going. That usually runs at night time. Just
so if people don't understand what a refugium is, let us know what is its main purpose.
So its main purpose is to pull out the nitrates and phosphates out of the water, and it's doing a very good job at that.
And the light, so it needs light to actually grow, does it?
Yeah, so that's a AI Fuge light.
So it's a light specifically for the Fuge, right?
Yes.
So you can you run just like a normal AI Hydra or AI Prime on it?
Yeah, you can, people do, but
Where's the water get sucked in?
So the
brought
water
down?
comes in from the weir, the top left.
Yep, so there's your weir.
Yep. And then it goes down
Into the roller pads?
that tubing, and then through that it goes into the roller mat.
Yep.
And then through the roller mat it goes out the bottom.
Yep, so it goes into your beneficial bacteria down here.
Yep. And then through the skimmer.
Through the skimmer.
Have a pump behind the skimmer if you can see it.
Yep.
And that runs into my UVs. And then from there into the refugium.
So how does the water get sucked into the refugium? Is there another pipe that goes in, or?
No, it just goes over this overflow.
Gotcha.
It's just covered by that.
Yep. So
White
that's that little gap there goes through.
Yep. Goes into there, and then from there it goes under that pump there that I have for the refugium into the return.
So it's a black pump down the bottom, right?
Yeah, that's a Red Sea 25.
And it goes back up here and gets pumped back into the tank.
The
right?
tank, which is on the right side.
What have we got here though?
In there I've got the
Dosing.
dosing. I run 2 UVs. I originally had the 25 watt, but it wasn't enough, so I bought a 57 watt. And
Ah, primo, look at this. We need to worry about cable management. You don't need to open that one, you just keep this one. And if you guys are wondering, yes, this does cost a lot.
Yeah, so they're all my controllers. Some of the Inkbird controls the temperature.
I don't think the CIA have this equipment. Look how many buttons you've got, mate. It's like you're flying a plane.
It all just runs itself, really. I don't really adjust anything unless the flows go up and down. Lighting, I've got Reef LED 50s. People might think it's a bit low, but it's just from smaller tanks, and I just had it, so.
So you've got 3 Red Seas.
Yep.
And you've added a new
I've
bar.
just added a Fluval 3.0.
Marine 3.0.
Marine, yeah.
Yep.
That was just to give more light at the front of the tank.
So that's just to service this area here.
Yeah.
Which I think you'll probably be adding more corals in time.
Yeah,
right now,
I
you're kind
will.
of just focusing on your parasite issue.
Yep.
Perfect. And is this a DIY job that you did?
That
Looks absolutely professional.
Yeah, it looks alright.
But if you look really close,
maybe from the
you
cable
can see the cable ties. But to the naked eye, no one would pick that up as a DIY job. It actually looks like it's meant to be. It actually looks as part of the Red Sea setup.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive there. All right, here we are in Hef's. What would you call this, Hef?
Laundry. Mrs. Laundry.
This is Hef's
taken
laundry, which he's clearly taken over. We've got 2 gigantic water containers here.
Water containers are 100 litres each.
Filled with, what's it filled with right now?
So my left one runs the salt water. It fills up with RO, obviously, but yeah, I mix my salt in my left one, which is 100 litres. And then the right one is just my RO water, which I use for the auto top up.
And the RO's made with this.
Yeah.
How often do you do water changes?
I do on my big tank probably. I test every week, so I just go off my test. If I need it, then I'll do it. If I don't, then I don't.
Yeah.
So,
But
I'd say
let's
probably every
average.
3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks you do water change. How many litres?
I do 150 litres.
And your tank holds how much?
It holds total capacity 650 litres.
So you do 150. Okay. And to your right over here, you've taken up more real estate. So this is currently your quarantine setup,
Quarantine,
is it?
yeah,
Yeah.
which I haven't emptied since the last time because I'm not using it at the moment.
So tell me a little bit about what you were doing here last time. So you experienced some ick,
Yes,
right?
I did. So when I had the ick, I went fishless in my main tank for 10 weeks, and all them fish ran into a separate tank filled with copper.
Yeah.
And then once the copper finished, they ran in that tank. So then my main display ran fishless again for 10 weeks, so the
Yeah.
parasite dies out,
Yeah.
which it did. And then the fish went back in, and since then, the wife's taken over that tank. And I just have this little quarantine tank if I get a new fish.
Gotcha. So you've got some angels in here. So this is Hef's second tank. Hef, tell me about the tank, mate.
Well, this was just in storage in my garage, and my wife said we may as well set it up.
So this was the wife's idea.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a possibility that your wife may want a second tank because, as we all know, MTS is a real thing, multi-tank syndrome. And if you've got it, I'm sure your wife may get it too.
Yeah, well, she pretty much just wanted fish that I couldn't keep in the display tank, like angels, and
Yeah.
her favourite is the Valentini puffer, and I couldn't have that.
Ah, mate, it's Puff from the Netflix doco.
Yeah, and the lionfish is my addition because I've always loved them, but they just seem to eat all my fish, so.
We're going to do a feeding on the Predator tank. So what are we feeding, Hef?
So I feed a mix of marine mix, brine, and mysis.
Yep. Do you add any like supplements to the food, like garlic or anything?
No, I had that fish nutrition bottle that I showed you earlier.
Oh yes, yes.
And then for the big boy, I don't feed him too much.
Oh, amazing. Hefs, I got one last question for you, mate.
Yes.
A proper aquascape tank. I'm talking like in nature aquascape, whether it's jungle, bonsai. You've seen my videos, so you know the
I love the look
opportunities.
I do, but at the moment, probably not, just because I'm focusing so much on this.
Yeah, and this is time
And
consuming.
it's a lot of work, but then again, I do love it. And convincing the wife again is a big...
I think your wife would be easily convinced when it comes to how beautiful a natural aquascape would be.
Yeah, but not until the figures rise up. All the times I have to lie to her, oh, how much was that? How much was that? And I was like, oh, it's $200, so really it was $1,000.
That's what I say to my wife. She goes, oh, another piece of coral? I'm like, yeah, it was on bargain, $30. Meanwhile, it's a $250 gonny.
It's just like when the LxWxH give me free stuff, she never believes me. She's like, no, how much was it really? I said, nah.
Awesome. All right, man. I just want to thank you for inviting me over and sharing this amazing tank with me and my channel.
No problem.
But like I said, keep asking questions, and we'll put this video up very shortly. But thank you again for inviting me over and pretty much just sharing this amazing experience. This is definitely a dream tank, but for some reason, I don't think you're done.
No. There's always something to do.
There's always something to do. All right, mate. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Always. Thank you.
Alright guys, so that wraps up the special episode of RT Aquascapes. I want to thank Hef and his family for having me over and sharing this incredible tank with the channel. It was great meeting him face to face, and he's such a chill guy. It's incredible to see how far Hef has actually come with his reefing journey. As we mentioned in the video, it was only 6 months ago that Hef decided to get into reefing with a small 100-litre nano tank. I had over 2 hours of footage shooting Hef's tank, and that I had to compress into this 30-minute video. I'll be creating some shorts with some of these clips. Look out for these. As usual guys, thank you so much for your support. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.